Brooklyn Nets head coach Steve Nash got his hands full. His squad lost to the Indiana Pacers on Saturday. Could they get some get back on Monday? Same two teams, back-to-back games. Kevin Durant was good on Saturday, and he was even better on Monday. Durant putting the Nets on his back early, saying, we ain't going to lose this game. Nets go out in front by double digits. It's Kyrie Irving. Beautiful move to the rim. I'd argue he's still one of the best finishers in the league, though he plays the point guard position. It's Irving knocking down the three. You see Ben Simmons cheering his teammate on from the sideline. He missed this game due to some knee soreness. Here comes the Indiana Pacers, though. Chris Duarte with the jam. Now Duarte looking and finding Buddy Hield for three. This all a part of a 28-3 run to close out the first half. Durant, it's like, all right, enough of that in the third quarter. Making the big play on defense, and Kevin Durant wiggling through on offense. Look at the spin Durant puts on this one, and somehow, some way for his team, KD made a play. Durant passed by Vince Carter in this one for 19th all-time on the NBA's scoring list. Durant had 36 points and 9 boards. But here comes Indiana once again. Rookie Benedict Mathurin's stellar start to his career continues. Chris Duarte with the deep three-pointer to close out the third. Pacers down by 7. Duarte is going to make a lot of money in this league. 10 of 15 from the field, a career-high 30 for Duarte. It's a 2-point game in Brooklyn. And here comes that man again, Durant, and his running mate Kai getting it done. Getting the Nets a much-needed win. Irving had 28.6 rebounds, 6 assists. The Nets improved to 2-5 on the season with the 116-109 win over the Pacers. Little did we know this would be head coach Steve Nash's final game. The Brooklyn Nets and Steve Nash have agreed that enough is enough. The two sides are mutually parting ways. According to Sean Marks, the general manager, we both felt that this was the time. It was certainly trending in that way. And to be quite frank, the team was not doing what it was supposed to be doing. We've fallen from our goals, of meeting our goals, and it was time now because we still have lofty aspirations of where we need to get to. Steve Nash delivered a statement as well on being let go from the Brooklyn Nets. Again, I'm sure he's not the most disappointed today, but this thing did not end the way he would have liked it. He said, a very heartfelt thanks to Joe and Claire Rasai, along with Sean Marks, for giving me the opportunity to coach the Brooklyn Nets. It was an amazing experience with many challenges that I'm incredibly grateful for. It was a pleasure to work with the players, performance, team, and front office every day. I'm especially grateful to my coaching staff and video room, who are a talented group with so much character and professionalism. Lastly, thanks to Brooklyn and the passionate fans who support this team. Family first, and my family has found a home here and loves being a part of the beautiful community. I wish the Nets all the success in the world, and the Nashes will be rooting for our team as they turn this season around. It is also being reported by Woj at ESPN that Ime Udoka, currently the Boston Celtics head coach, who has been suspended because of some team violations, he is emerging as the lead candidate to become the Brooklyn Nets head coach in the next 48 to 72 hours. Keep in mind, Ime was not suspended by the league. He was suspended by the team. And I'm only bringing it up to say, if possible, he might be on the sideline coaching for the Brooklyn Nets by this weekend. For right now, the Brooklyn Nets will be under the tutelage of Jack Vaughn. He'll be the interim head coach until the Nets are able to finalize a deal with their next head coach, if it may be Ime Udoka. Again, Woj is reporting that all signs point to Coach Udoka leaving Boston, which he was suspended for the whole year anyway, to become the lead guy in Brooklyn. Wow. You know, I am not surprised that Steve Nash is out in Brooklyn. My last video I did on the Nets, go watch it. I just did it like 2 days ago. I told you guys, I asked a question. I was like, yo, is Steve Nash broke? And the reason why I asked that question was because Nash had lost his way. And not just his way as a coach. He really never found his way as a coach on the court. But I thought Steve Nash had lost his way within his organization. He had become a yes man. And Steve Nash, who was a floor general for over a decade in the NBA, to me, doesn't have to be a yes man. He's too much of a legend in our game to be that. The latest Kyrie Irving situation about the post that he made, Nash really offered no response. Kevin Durant wanted him fired after all Nash did last year was come to the defense of Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets. Excuse. Ben Simmons, who has given Steve Nash little to nothing on the court for the most part this year. How about Steve Nash right before the season started saying, we don't care if Ben ever shoots. All of these pieces to the puzzle, to me, make up for why Steve Nash is no longer the head guy in Brooklyn. Not to mention they got off to a 1-5 start. I know they won that game there to go to 2-5, but that's not good enough. The narrative around the Brooklyn Nets we've shifted so far left from winning a championship. Now it's just if this team will be good enough to make the postseason. That's how far left we've shifted. Everybody's healthy. Kevin Durant, Kyrie are there. Ben Simmons, I know he's been dealing with a back issue, but he's healthy for the most part. Like, this team has got too much talent on the court to not be beating some of the bottom feeders out east. They can't win back-to-back games right now. And the narrative is shifting from will the Nets make it to the NBA Finals to will the Nets make the playoffs to will Kevin Durant be able to stay healthy? Does Kevin Durant want to be traded? What is Kyrie Irving going to pose next? Like, we're leaving the realm of winning with Brooklyn. Is Ben Simmons going to want to play defense? Will he ever make a jump shot? We've went so far left from winning, the Nets decided to make a change within their organization. And I got to say this. It is not an accident. It is not a secret that right around the time Kyrie Irving made his post about the film and the book that deemed to be anti-Semitic by many people in its nature, it is not a surprise right after that the Brooklyn Nets and Steve Nash are moving in different directions. That is not a shocker. And for anybody that does, any Kyrie Irving supporter out there that continues to defend him as he's about to be on his 9th head coach in 12 seasons, hey, that's how you live your life, not how I live mine. God bless Kyrie Irving. But the reality is when Kyrie Irving ain't been next to LeBron James, from a team standpoint, outside of that, maybe that 1 year in Boston, the first year, it has been a disaster everywhere he's went. Coaches lose jobs. He doesn't seem to want coaching. Kyrie Irving has lost sight of why teams hire him. That's the biggest problem. Kyrie Irving is on these squads thinking these teams should be happy that he's a phenomenal talent, which he is, by the way, and he can dribble really well and he can shoot really well. It's almost like he thinks teams should change their stances and their positions from winning to just being grateful to have Kyrie on the court. Kyrie ain't thinking about winning championships. He's just happy to be playing basketball. It's almost like KD and Kyrie are more focused on being the greatest versions of individual talents that they can be versus actually winning. Like, fans are not paying good money to see KD and Kyrie score a lot of points and lose games. That's not what fans want. We have left so far left in the realm of winning basketball games with the brand that is Kyrie Irving that I think now the Nets are in a spot where, okay, we got Kyrie for one last year. Let's try to bring in Ime Udoka and see if he can get through Kyrie. Other than that, when this season is over, my expectation is Kyrie Irving will not be re-signed by Brooklyn because it just has not worked out. The business ain't been right. It's not beneficial enough to Brooklyn. They got to deal with anti-Semitic posts. I see fans on the floor with anti-Semitism shirts on. That ain't the brand you want. Again, the reason why Steve Nash to me is no longer in Brooklyn is because he sat there and yes-manned himself through all of the questions about Kyrie and KD, not a lot of pushback publicly. And what I'm hearing is in those practices, it's the same stuff, just kind of happy to be in the room. I never saw any on-the-court coaching from KD or from Steve Nash. I never saw anything that resembled a good head coach. And if he's not going to be a good head coach, and if he's not going to control the locker room, and we're going to continue to move the goalposts from winning the championship to now can we make the playoffs, starting the season on 1-5, the Nets are like, all right, we got nothing here. We need to bring a guy in that can get through to these players. I'm not even sure if Ime Udoka's in the position to do that right now. If he is the next Brooklyn Nets head coach. And the reason why I bring that up is Udoka's now on thin ice. Is he not going to be a guy that caters to KD and Kyrie that's just happy to be the coach of these guys as well, because he now knows if he doesn't get it right in Brooklyn, coming off of the allegations that he's coming off of with the Boston Celtics, is he not concerned about losing his job and losing his position as one of the best coaches in the league after winning Coach of the Year just a season ago? I don't know if he's the right guy. I don't know who's the right guy for KD and Kyrie. I guess the Brooklyn Nets knew it wasn't Steve Nash, though. That's why he's out.